How's it going, all you beautiful people? I'm back. I have not made a video in a little bit because I went on a trip. I came back and I got sick. So I've been sick for a couple of days. I'm still sick, so excuse me if I cough or sneeze or sound sick. But I really wanted to make this video because since January 1st of this year, I've been keeping track of every price of every ETB from Scarlet and Violet Base to Phantasmal Flames just to see how the market is trending. The reason why I'm using ETBs is I don't want to exclude specialty sets. I know booster boxes are what people typically talk about when they talk about prices, but I don't want to exclude specialty sets that don't have booster boxes like 151, Prismatic Evolutions, White Flare, Black Bolt. So I decided to use ETBs. I unfortunately missed last Thursday's pricing because I was away, but I have this week's pricing, so I'm going to do a 2-week percentage change and then a year-to-date percentage change. And let me tell you, the Pokemon market is going crazy. For anyone that wants MSRP gain, for anyone that wants a Pokemon market to tank, I'm sorry to say, but based on the data, and data doesn't lie, the Pokemon market is booming and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. So let's dive right into it. I'll put up the screen, I'll put up the table on the screen so you can take a look. I'll take a step to the side so that you can take a look more of the screen or more of the table, because in my previous videos, I realized I always stood in the center and I don't know if that's the best because I can put the table to one side and I can see more of it. So table will be to the side of me while I'm talking. And I'm only going to go over a couple of these ETBs. I'm going to pinpoint some of the ones, and you can take a look at the table for all of them. Some of the ones that went up over 10% in the last 2 weeks. One thing to keep in mind is Scarlet and Violet Base to Paldean Fates. So Scarlet and Violet Base, Paldea Evolve, Obsidian Flames, 151, Paradox Rift, and Paldean Fates is going to go out of print next month. So as a result, a lot of these are going crazy in price. We'll discuss a little bit of some of them, but I do see that these will continue to go up in price because they will be going out of print. Technically, they're going out of rotation in the Pokemon TCG game, but based on historical trends, that does mean that Pokemon will stop printing these sets. So let's dive right into it. Scarlet and Violet Base Koraidon went from $86.91 on January 1st to $89.99 2 weeks ago to $99.30 this week. So that is a 10.35% increase over 2 weeks and a 14.26% year to date. That is a big increase. It's the first time that this has seen a pretty big increase since the beginning of the year, so I just wanted to point it out. One other thing to keep in mind that I forgot to mention is, if you look at every single one of these ETBs, officially, this is the first week where every single ETB has gone up since the last time I recorded the data and since the beginning of the year. It's either has gone up or the same price. So that kind of shows, if you were to close your eyes, buy every single ETB there is from Scarlet and Violet Base to Phantasmal Flames, and be holding it from the beginning of the year, you would be up on every single ETB at this point. So I know there's certain investments that are better, but let's say you didn't know anything about Pokemon, you decided to buy every single ETB, you would be up on every single box. Anyways, let's go to the next one. Paldea Evolve. This has a beautiful Magikarp card that a lot of people chase. It's gone from $124.97 on January 1st to $137.89  2 weeks ago to $153.97 today. That's an 11.66% change since 2 weeks ago and a 23.21% change since the beginning of the year. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. This Pokemon market is going crazy. Sometimes I really don't know what to say about it, but the data shows the data, and I guess we just go with it. The next one, and this is the craziest one, because it is the most expensive one, and it has officially gone almost the most up since the beginning of the year. There is one that we'll talk about later that has gone up more since the beginning of the year. But this one is almost up the most since the beginning of the year in this list of ETBs. 151. I do not know what's going on with this set. If you look at the products in this set, the ETB, the Booster Bundle, the Ultra Premium Collection, even the singles, the Blastoise is over $200 now. A month ago, it was, I think, around $80. So these cards are going crazy. There's cards within 151 that have gone up close to 100% or over 100% in the last month. That is insane. So I don't know what's going on with 151. I do understand why it's going up because it is going out of rotation next month, which means it is going out of print. I don't even know if we're going to see 151 reprints from now until next month. We'll see. But if not, then we've seen the last of 151. I know that 151 booster bundles are no longer in vending machines, so it's no longer there. I don't know if Pokemon will do another 151 reprint before the end of the cycle, so I guess we'll see. But I do believe that even if Pokemon does do a 151 reprint, I don't think it will be a large reprint. But like I said, we'll see. That's just my opinion. But 151 ETBs has gone from $375.87 on January 1st to $433.99 2 weeks ago, which is a big increase, to $593.95 today. That's an insane increase. That's a $160 increase over the last 2 weeks. That's a 36.86% since the beginning of the year and a 58.02% since the beginning of the year. Or 36.86% since 2 weeks ago and 58.02% since the beginning of the year. That's crazy because this ETB was already the most expensive ETB. Let's see what 151 continues to do. And one thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, I'm using lowest listing. I know that's not the most accurate way for pricing, but my scenario is just, let's go to TCG Player, see the lowest listing of a non-dented box, and let's see what the price of that is every week. So I think it's fair to use that and compare it week after week. And as long as I stay consistent with that, that's what I'm comparing it to. Let's go to the next one. Paradox Rift Iron Valiant. It went from $93.27 on January 1st to $103.11 2 weeks ago to $120.49 today. That's a 16.86% increase since 2 weeks ago and a 29.18% since the beginning of the year. It's another one that has gone up a lot. The next one, Paldean Fates, another one that's going to go out of rotation next month, has a Bubble Meal in it. I'm not surprised that it's going up a lot too. It went from $264.20 on January 1st to $305 2 weeks ago to $344.99 today. So that's a 13.11% since 2 weeks ago and 30.58% increase since the beginning of the year. The next one, Temporal Forces Walking Lake. I know Temporal Forces isn't the most popular set, but this ETB has seen some love in the last 2 weeks. It's gone from $82.31 to $87.95 2 weeks ago to $109.99 today. So that's a 25.06% increase in the last 2 weeks. That's a big increase in the last 2 weeks. And a 33.63% increase since the beginning of the year. But most of that increase came in the last 2 weeks. So I don't know if there was someone that bought a lot of these or a couple people that bought a lot of these, but this is up. The next one, Shrouded Fable. On January 1st, it was $73.40. 2 weeks ago, it was $73.99, so barely an increase 2 weeks ago from the beginning of the year. Right now, it's $87.75. I know Shrouded Fable isn't the most popular set anyways, but at this point in this Pokemon market, I don't think it really matters. It's up 18.6% since 2 weeks ago and up 19.55% since the beginning of the year. The next one, Prismatic Evolutions. This is the one that has gone up the most since the beginning of the year now, and it has gone crazy. January 1st was $122.55. February 19th, 2 weeks ago, it was $152.99. Today, it's $195.99. That's a 28.11% increase since 2 weeks ago and a 59.93% increase since the beginning of the year. That's crazy. But am I surprised? No. Prismatic Evolutions has been printed so much, and I do think it's going to slow down getting printed because Ascended Heroes is here, and I think a lot of printing is going to be spent on Ascended Heroes. But Prismatic Evolutions is finally seeing a large increase. I mean, $152.99 2 weeks ago to $195.99, a 28.11% increase in 2 weeks. That's insane. We'll see what Prismatic Evolutions continues to do. The last one I want to point out, Journey Together. A lot of people don't like Journey Together, but the ETB has performed pretty well, and especially in the last 2 weeks. It's gone from $84.23 on January 1st to $88 2 weeks ago to $97.99 today. That's an 11.35% increase since 2 weeks ago and a 16.34% increase since the beginning of the year. So since the beginning of the year, this list of ETBs has gone from $2,506.04 to $2,838.88 2 weeks ago to $3,228.44 today. That's a 13.72% increase since 2 weeks ago and a 28.83% increase since the beginning of the year. I don't know about you, but I don't know if you've ever invested in anything, but to get a 28.83% increase in your investment in the first 2 months of the year, I would say that's doing pretty well. And that's picking every ETB from Scarlet and Violet Base of Phantasmal Flames. If I was actually investing in this, I would have chosen the ones that were more popular. I would have focused on 151, Surging Sparks, Twilight Masquerade, Prismatic Evolutions, Destined Rivals, and maybe a little Black Bolt, White Flare, Phantasmal. But I would have thought about it a little bit more, picked more of the ones that I think would have done better. And I can bet you that if I chose specific ones, I would be doing better than this 28.83%. But this is just buying one of every single one of these ETBs. And that's the current Pokemon market. I know there's a lot of people that want MSRP gain, want Pokemon to be affordable or easy to get again, where you don't have to get notifications and it runs to your local Target. If you're not there within 5 minutes, it's already sold out. I can't really control that. Pokemon can't control that. A printing facility is going to come out. But I'm just a person that's looking at the data. And the data is suggesting that the Pokemon market is on fire to start 2026. I did not think that the Pokemon market would start this hot in 2026 because of the downturn to end 2025. But boy, was I wrong. 2026 at this point may top 2025 when it comes to gains on your Pokemon investment or Pokemon sealed, whether you're trying to invest in it or not. And that's good for people that are in this hobby. I think a lot of people think that investing in Pokemon, selling your seal, trading your seal for things you like is a bad thing. But the reality is this hobby is turning into a really expensive hobby, and there's nothing wrong selling extras of what you have of something that you got over time to help pay for or trade for things that you want in the future. And it's good for people that have things that they have not opened, that they have sealed, that they're keeping to maybe trade or sell for things later, and just to continue to build their Pokemon collection. But let me know what you think. I think this data suggests that it's hard to deny that the Pokemon market is not hot. I think you can look at a lot of different stuff. You can look at booster boxes, booster bundles, singles, anything really. And most things will show that things have gone up in price since the beginning of the year. And that's why I'm doing this. I think a lot of us have feelings on where we think the Pokemon market's going to go, what we want the Pokemon market to go. But I'm just showing the data week after week, other than missing last week, just to show that this is the data. And I'm going to be talking about the data to talk about how the Pokemon market is doing, because the data does not lie. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you watched up to this point, I would assume you like this content. So I'd really appreciate it if you would go to my YouTube, follow me or subscribe to me on my YouTube. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I know that's a long way to go for me, but that is my goal. And I know that these videos I'm posting on Instagram and TikTok as well, but this video is mainly for YouTube long form content. I'm just posting on TikTok and Instagram as well because I have the video and I know that some people watch it on there. But I really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube, TCG Collectors House, drop me a follow on my Instagram and TikTok, and then like my video, upvote my video, drop a comment. Let me know what you think about the Pokemon market. Let me know what you think about these crazy prices. I think this is crazy. I mean, it's just crazy what the prices are doing. I don't know what else to say, but the Pokemon market is booming. I'm excited for the rest of 2026. So let's just see what's going to happen. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support, and I'll catch you next time.